We have the new Switchstrike Wave 4! So today for our Beyblade show, happy Hasbro days! I was talking about this a little bit beforehand with our previous QR code videos. I said there'll be a surprise, I can't say what it is. And guess what? We have the complete Wave 4 for Switchstrike, Spryzen S3, Luinor L3, Caynox C3, Regulus R3. We're going to go one by one, go over it, say what the actual Hasbro name is for it, etc, etc. Do some battles later, compare TAKARA TOMY. Let's get started! So we'll be starting off with our first box, Caynox C3. This looks really nice. I am curious on how good this Hasbro Caynox is going to be, just because with the TAKARA TOMY one, it really bursted easily. But you can see a beautiful display of the packaging. This is a stamina type bay. And if we look at the back, the gimmick with this one, or the Switchstrike gimmick with it, is that you can see it's spring-loaded blades. So it's kind of like it'll tilt to one side or the other. And it has a really good driver, ball bearing. This bearing driver is really good for stamina. Helps the bay just last really long. So you got your energy layer, which is Caynox C3, or as it wants to be referred to as Deep Caynox. So, looks awesome. Then after you have your DR41. DR41 is for flow. And then after we've got our driver, which is just bearing. Stats for it are 0 for attack, 4 weight, 0 burst, 4 agility, 5 defense, 13 stamina. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to take a look at it. Here, we're going to be starting off with Caynox C3, and wow, TAKARA TOMY is on the top. This is the Hasbro version. Honestly, like, my god, this is really accurate. Really surprised. The only thing I guess is missing is just these little blue streaks around it, but like other than that, really good job. Now, I'm going to say this right off the bat so I don't get any comments. QR code video later tonight covering all 4 of these bays, so if you want to get the codes, we'll do it like that. Layer's pretty much accurate. Very nice with how close this is. Again, if you want to know, the gimmick for this is basically like it tilts to one side. So when you're doing the battle, these little blades here, they'll like tilt. And it's the same like the TAKARA TOMY. TAKARA TOMY is a little bit more loose. Hasbro with its tilting, it's a little bit more like, I want to say less loose for it. You've got that after the 2-part forge disc, 4 and flow, extremely accurate. And the only difference between the bearing driver for both, I guess, is that just the TAKARA TOMY ones with a little bit more of a brighter coat of yellow for the paint. But wow, good job. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to assemble both of these and compare with each other. Here we have both the bays fully assembled, and wow. So I've got to say, good job Hasbro for this one. I like it. I would say the edges are a little bit less loose when you compare it to the TAKARA TOMY one, like if you can just see. So how tight this bay actually is, I would say fairly tight. Like I think this Caynox actually has some good slopes on it. So I'm liking this. I hope when we do the battles later on, I think this might be actually a monster, because the TAKARA TOMY one, it bursts really quickly. So let's hope Hasbro's Caynox doesn't do the same. So now we have our next bay, Shelter Regulus, or Regulus R3 it wants to be called. So fun story with this one. The tower driver I'm a little bit concerned for, just because when we did our previous battles with it, for the TAKARA TOMY version, it broke off. So I'm a little bit curious for the Hasbro one, if it's going to be as fragile or if the impact's not going to be. So this bay right here is a balance type bay, as you can see right there. So just to show, so the gimmick with this one's pretty interesting. It has retractable blades. So you see those little like claws it has inside of the layer. It can actually be sort of like pushed out. And you can see for the driver right there, the performance diff. In battle, height extension. This bay is pretty nice. I love the design for it. The color scheme's a little bit off from Hasbro, because I remember with the Hasbro on the New York Toy Fair 2018, it was a lot more transparent and shiny. So that leads me to believe maybe that version is going to be in some 2-pack or whatever, since it was a shiny variant, and they did say it's subject to change, so I'm not too sure. Regardless, pretty accurate with how this looks. You've got your energy layer, which is Regulus R3. You've then after got your 2-part forge disc, which is DR40, which is 5-star, and then after you've got your driver, which is TB08. So it's pretty much it. Tower, the driver, stats if you want to see it. There's 5 for attack, 5 for weight, 2 for burst, 4 for agility, 5 for defense, 5 for stamina. So what we're gonna be doing now, open this, compare it to the TAKARA TOMY version, then after move from there. Here we've got both the base, TAKARA TOMY on the top, Hasbro on the bottom. Yeah, this is actually pretty good. I didn't notice something. So instead of going with dark blue, light blue, they just went with the yellow streaks. So really, they're not missing too much. Maybe you could say a little bit of the blue there, but solid job. Looks very nice. Like, so close, man, when you look at these bays. Really impressed. You got the 5 and star, pretty much exactly the same. And then after we've got tower, so this is our Hasbro one. I am hoping that compared to the TAKARA TOMY one, it doesn't break, because my TAKARA TOMY one, when we were doing battles before, it broke. So I'm hoping with Hasbro that tower driver is really good. So we're gonna assemble and quickly compare. Hasbro, TAKARA TOMY. Again, good job Hasbro for this. And for the gimmick for this bay, just to show you, these little claws are supposed to open up and you can kind of just see how it's supposed to look. Really nice. I think this is sturdy. It's a little bit, it's not really that tight. It's pretty loose, so probably it's going to burst a lot, just like the TAKARA TOMY one. Anyways, move on to our next bay. We have now gotten one of the most anticipated Switchstrike tops. Luinor L3, also known as Nightmare Lunar. An amazing bay. I really love, I'm not really a fan of the God Bay. I do like the design for it though. The premise for this bay is that there's no actual forge disc. It's like the 2 parts into like the 1 layer. You can still add a frame to it if you want to. So when we actually look at the back, you can see right there, you've got LD01, which I guess referred to since it's like 2 parts in 1. So you got Lunar L3, it's an attack type bay. You got your driver, which is TA14, Destroy. We've got our stats, 10 for attack, 6 for weight, 4 for burst, 3 for agility, 0 for defense, 1 for stamina. Like I said before, massive impact. So how it works is the more closer it is to bursting, the dragons actually start to move. Story is also pretty good too. You can see, so as you can see, like it has these little rigged edges just to keep it with balance. It's switch strike ability. So what are we doing now? Open it compared to TAKARA TOMY, and then after we're gonna move on to our last base. So here we've got on the top, Nightmare Longinus. On the bottom we got Nightmare Lunar. Nothing really much to say. It's just missing some stickers here and I guess there. Do I actually care? I'm more curious on the performance of the bay than really just like the aesthetics for it. Actually, what's nice for the driver for Destroy, they actually still kept the sparkles even though it's not transparent, so that's pretty good. So it's pretty quick, straight to the point. What we'll do now is I'm going to assemble it, and we're going to see how tight the bay actually is. So Hasbro, TAKARA TOMY, that's pretty decent. I like this. Pretty accurate for Hasbro to do this. I really love this. So again, with the gimmick for this bay, you can see the more closer it is to bursting, the more the dragons are going to move. And actually, this bay is pretty tight with slopes, so I think this bay is actually going to be a little bit stronger, probably. So we're going to move on to our last bay. We are now on to our last bay, not modded, Spryzen Requiem S3. They had to put the full name there, it was a little bit weird. But we have the bay, not S4. That was our mod from before. Relax, people, relax. Actually, we'll make this battler mod after, and I will address the Metal God chip in a sec. But really awesome. I really have been anticipating this one for a long time since the TAKARA TOMY version came out. Looks awesome. So the cool thing about this bay, if you know Legend Spryzen, this rotates both left and right. And also, if you don't already know, in the show, what she's going to do is he's going to basically, because after like Louis basically beats him, he steals the gimmicks from Nightmare Lunar, Valtrak, what is it, Fafnir, and then after Excalibur, and it's basically taking like the metal from Excalibur for like the axe, and the left and right from Lunar and Valkyrie, and then after the rubber from Frida La Hoya's Fafnir, like combining it into Spryzen Requiem. So just figured some backstory if you don't know for whatever the reason is. So again, left and right. And the Zeta driver, 3-tip modes. There is attack, stamina, and defense, and there's technically 6 modes if you want to count left and right. So we've got our parts, we've got our energy layer, which is Spryzen Requiem, we've got DR44, which is 0, and then after we've got TB07, which is Zeta. So loving this bay. We've got 5 for attack, 10 for weight, 1 for burst, 3 for defense, 3 for agility, 3 for stamina. What we're going to be doing now, compare this awesome bay to its original TAKARA TOMY version, and we'll go from there. We're moving on to now our last bay, which is on the top Spryzen Requiem, on the bottom Spryzen Requiem. Now, I already can see the comments. The only major difference is that the metal god chip in the middle is not painted blue. Wow. Okay. Wow, that's a toughie. Looks exactly the same. Paint coat looks great. You still have the blue eyes and everything. Awesome. Zero's the same. Zed is just not transparent, but it does have a good shade of red. So again, the gimmick with this, it does have the metal from Surge Excalius. It has the rubber from Drain Fafnir, which actually the rubber feels a little bit different than actually the Hasbro one. It looks like they're using different material for it. I like it. Maybe this is good for absorption. It's a different material for this rubber for sure. Looks awesome. With Zeta, so right now it's in defense. You can switch it to its other modes. Like if I do this, I lift it up and I push it down. You've got stamina. And if I want to push it up again, you've got attack. It's pretty tight, so I don't think if you do it in battle, it's going to maybe change for whatever reason. And please, okay, this is not a secret mode. Don't do this. You're just going to damage the bay, because I don't want people to do that. So, nice job. And another thing just to mention, so I have the launcher there. It's in L. You can see by the indication of how it's LR. So then after I want to turn it, I lock it. And then after bam, I have this bay in right. So we're going to assemble it now, and we're just going to show a quick comparison. So, pretty good. Both of these compared. I think this is actually going to be a monster. So as for how tight the slopes are, it's fairly decent. It's not as tight as Luinor. I do think this is pretty good slopes for this bay though. But yeah, so now what we're going to be doing is we have our Colossus Bay Stadium. We'll do like 1v1s. We'll do some matches. We'll have fun. We'll decide as soon as we get the stadium on here. Spryzen Requiem versus all of them. First round against Deep. Caynox, 3, 2, 1 lineup. Yeah! We'll do up to 2 points. Spryzen Requiem is in Zeta with, well, it has Zeta. Its Zeta is in defense and it's in right. Let's see how it goes. So, very interesting. This is only up to 2 points exactly. So, whoever gets it, gets it. I'll switch the Zeta in the next round to attack, see how it goes differently, because I do want to switch on the Zeta. So who's gonna get it? It's a stamina match right now, huh? Caynox, you wanna lose? Today? Ah, come on. There we go, the bearing's holding it out now. Caynox actually beat me. Whatever. Next round, we'll be switching the Zeta, as you can see now, to attack. So next round. 3, 2, 1, let him whip! Woo! Alright, so Spryzen Requiem with Zeta attack, just one shot at Deep Caynox. Alright, let's move on to our next Switchstrike bay. Shelter Regulus against Spryzen Requiem. 3, 2, 1, let him whip! Are you kidding me right now? Awesome! So full battles a little bit later. You'll probably see in these next few days. Alright. We'll do one more round with you. 3, 2, 1, let it rip! So Requiem Slash! Come on! Requiem Slash? Well, if you're not gonna hit it, you know. There we go. Alright, double burst. But as you know, the show must go on, so we'll be moving on. Nightmare Lunar, 3, 2, 1, let it flip! Who's gonna get it? Whoa! Look at our king! And the slopes didn't even move! Oh my god, we're doing another round. 3, 2, 1, let it flip! A regular Nightmare Longinus cannot take these hits! Longinus, whatever! Look at Lunar! This bay is a tank! They actually made this bay OP. I can't believe this. I can't believe this right now. I actually can't. It's 1-all, but it doesn't even move the slopes. 3, 2, 1, let it flip. Direct hit. It's taking these direct hits. I still cannot believe it. That's impressive. It's not even like it's just regular hits, because obviously, like, anybody can take a regular hit like that, but these direct, powerful hits, like, wow. I think, honestly, this is a step up. I love these bays. Alright, so, my overall thoughts from, since we're going to be ranking it for the top 4, number 1 is definitely going to be Nightmare Lunar. Number 2, Spryzen Requiem. We're going to go with 3 with Caynox, and then after lastly 4 with Regulus. I think these bays are awesome. I really love what Hasbro is doing with these Switchstrike bays.